To me, Donald Trump is not quitting anytime soon, and I don't blame him. He's a fighter. See, what the mainstream media is not telling you, and they're all automatically assuming and just celebrating that Joe Biden won, that they're automatically assuming that he won. The reality is, we're still going through recounts, we're still going through the Electoral College, and we're still going through lawsuits. I'm not going to hold my breath and say who won before I found out and after November 14th until they make the Electoral College. I'm not going to hold my breath anytime soon, especially when there's very questionable things going on recently.
I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard, a fucking SWAT team, cause I ain't going nowhere. Fuck that.
Let's go ahead and look at Michigan. The situation, the stuff going on in Michigan. Especially the very questionable stuff going on in Michigan when you go to, mainstream media says one thing and the Michigan state website says completely the opposite. The state government website, it literally lists that Donald Trump has won, but mainstream media is saying the opposite of that Trump lost and Biden won. Explain these numbers to me, and it's kind of odd to me that why would the government state Michigan website would say otherwise? That's a bit questionable. Of course, more people are not looking into this, and they're just too busy dry humping toasters like Copper Cap.
I fucked my fucking toaster. It looked like that. I fucked my toaster. 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 Call me a toaster fucker.
When you have 37 people coming forward about voter fraud, and they're saying under perjury, basically under perjury, if they're caught lying, they could be in prison for a federal crime. These people are risking their freedom to come out and say this. Okay? That people who work for the post office are coming out and say this. And I'm not even lying about this. This is also video, this is also recording proof of it.
So what many poll challengers were actually saying was that when the ballots were scanned and it did not match a voter in the electronic poll book, and it did not match a voter in the supplemental paper poll book, which was provided due to Michigan's law that allows for same-day registration, they were still allowing those ballots to go through and be counted. And that is when the GOP poll challengers were issuing those challenges. So they were either being ignored or kicked out.
If you don't believe me, there's also video proof of this crap going on. My question is, what they really have to hide. It's a bit questionable why they're trying to hide poll counters, and you got people from the post office are coming forward talking about this, but they're trying to keep it hush-hush what the mainstream media is saying. You have to go to an alternative media just in order to actually see the actual real facts. Just because you heard it from mainstream media doesn't mean it's always fucking true, because the media doesn't determine the election. The Electoral College and judges determine the election, not the media. Thank you very much.
All the networks! Wow! All the networks! We have to forget about the law. Judges don't count. All the networks thought Biden was going to win by 10%. Gee.
But Joe Biden says something like this, it's a bit questionable. Not only that, a bit questionable, you have to ask yourself, is Joe Biden saying this, is he being truthful, or he has Alzheimer's? Which either the media says, well, Joe Biden doesn't have Alzheimer's, that's a crazy conspiracy theory. Oh.
I think the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American.
The mainstream media says that it's a great thing of normalcy. We're going back to normal now when Joe Biden's in office. Really? You really think that? They're still rioting on the streets. They're still causing chaos and violence. It's like a hockey team when somebody wins the Stanley Cup. They're going to riot if they lose, and they're going to riot when they win. Nothing's going to change. They think everything's going back to normal? They're doing another lockdown, and you're telling me they're going back to normal? Wow. Yeah, I want to say bye-bye to, legalizing marijuana. I want to say bye-bye to my rights for Second Amendment rights. I want to say bye-bye to, the First Step Act. And also to those peace agreements that Trump came forward with normalizing relationships with Israel. I want to say bye-bye to that. Back to normalcy, my butt. It's so fascistic, it's something funny, that the journalists of these mainstream organizations are sounding like close to Stalin. If you don't believe me, listen to this.
Not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose. We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them, because if there are survivors, if there are people who weather this storm, they will do it again.
Who claims that democracy is over because of Donald Trump and fascism is around, is now talking like fascists. The same party who's against racism and anti-racist is now being so fascistic or Nazistic, they're now taking books from Mein Kampf. Silencing opposition of power? That's a bit scary. Not that a bit scary that they want to destroy consenting voices of opposition. My friends, I'm not saying every Democrat or every liberal is like this, but I'm saying if the people ahead of these news organizations, these mainstream media organizations, that is scary. That's something that we all should be concerned about. I'll give you one final thought. I know that some people who might watch this who probably hates Donald Trump. That's fair enough. But my question is, does it seem fair for the American people and democracy and the republic that we have a fair count, a fair election, and the right of the people to know who actually won? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with going through these lawsuits. There's nothing wrong with doing a recount. Hell, you never know. 2016, they did a recount and they realized Trump won Pittsburgh, even though he already won the Electoral College. My question is, does it really mean that much to win? I'm willing to say Biden might have won. He could have. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And there's some of his policies that concern me as a person, as an American. But if the will or the right of the people, if they actually cheated, if somebody actually cheated, would you want to know? Would you want to know the facts, the reality? You don't want the media to tell you how to think and what to think. Then why are you letting the media determine the winner without the Electoral College vote and without the end of November 14th? Without the inauguration? Just think about that. Be an independent thinker. Don't listen to what right-wing media says, left-wing media says, because I guarantee you some of these right-wing media says, oh, Trump won, or Biden, and then else says, oh, Biden won. We don't know that until the recounts. We don't know until the lawsuits. We don't know until the Electoral College makes a decision yet. I'm not going to hold my breath until the inauguration, my friends. Just think about that. But I'll talk to you guys later. God bless America.